Yes!
Hi there, my name is Melvin from Shimano Singapore. So nowadays, a lot of you are enjoying fishing using braided line, like what I do here. I have the Mission Complete V0.6. So when using such braided line, we always have the issue of tying leader onto it. Sometimes it's always very difficult to get the braided line to bite onto the fluoro. Always when you pull and tighten, it slips. So if you want to learn how to tie a good connection, so stay tuned and find out how we can make use of our new product, the bobbin winder, to give us the nice PR knot. So here are some of the things which you need in order to tie a good PR knot. First off, will be the bobbin winder. Next, we have the fluorocarbon leader. We need a sharp pair of scissors, especially to cut those thin diameter braids. And one last thing I would recommend would be a line cutter. This line cutter has a protection. When you burn off the tail end of the FC, you'll prevent the flame from hitting the braided line. So this bobbin winder is specially designed for PE 0.3 to PE 3 line. This is the perfect line choice for all the light jiggers and micro jiggers, as well as those doing finesse fishing. The design of the bobbin winder is very lightweight, so it's easy to manage, especially for handling light lines. When you want to tie the line, the weight is perfect when you spin it to give the right tightness onto the FC. So how do you tie a good PR connection? Other than using a bobbin winder, there are a few things to take note of, which I will run through as I tie the knot. So please pay attention and learn how I will usually do it when I'm up there fishing. So the first step for me is always to fix on the reel onto the rod and run through at least 1 or 2 guides. This is to allow the rod to help me keep the line away as I do the bobbin winder. So find a place on the boat or on the forest to just put your rod to the side. To make use of the rod to keep this line away from you when you are tying the bobbin winder. Okay, so remember to give yourself enough line so that you can have enough line to tie your knot. So the first step, to put the line through the hole here. Once that is done, go at 1 round. Then you can see there's a gap between the 2 rubber. So just lock the line into this groove. Okay. Make sure it's tight inside. Okay. So once that is done, do about 7 rotations to load up the line onto the winder. After that is done, test the drag setting, which you can control here. Okay, make sure that it's not too difficult to pull out, or else your knot will look very crumpled. So lighten a bit. It's a very light pressure. Okay. So grab your leader line. What I have here in my hand is the 16-pound leader. One thing I like to do is always just pull out enough line for me to tie the knot so that I do not waste. So I'll cut out the leader that I need after I have finished tying the knot. So what you want to do now is leave about 20 cm, which you want to loop around your fingers. Okay, this will hold the line tight as you do the PR knot. So remember, doing this part, this section of the line must be kept tight. If it's loose, the FC will overlap as the bobbin winder goes down. Okay, so keep it tight, keep it taut. So the first step, we want to go to my left side for about 10 cm. Okay, so it's easy. So the downwards direction and just spin. Okay, so now here is the slightly tricky part, the next step. We want the winder to go backwards, which is to my right. So what I usually do is to use my index finger to give it a slight push to help it along its way. Okay, so that's something I look like. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so a PR knot doesn't have to be very long. Personally, I think for light fishing application, just keep it to about 2 cm. I think this is a very strong knot and more than sufficient for most fishing application. So as you let go of your right hand, you realize that all this line is intertwined. So don't, is this perfectly fine? So just twist the line from, so you separate the braid from the FC. Just give it some twist. Yep. Okay, and just smooth out your line. So release the remainder from the winder. Here now I would like to explain the concept of a PR knot. PR knot different from a double uni knot. It works by the principle of the braid biting onto the FC line. Okay, so you see I have not closed the knot, but if you just pull, it's actually a very effective connection joint between the FC and braided line. Okay, but we just want to close the knot just to make sure it's more durable. So remember earlier on I recommend that you put the rod, the reel, set up the reel and run through the line through the guides. So this is where you'll become extra beneficial. I'm sure some of you will have seen your friends or are using their legs, using the fishing, using another pole to keep the line tight. But just by putting it into the rod can help you to set the line straight and save you from trying to be an acrobat. Okay, so now we want to use alternate half hitches. Remember, alternate half hitches is one up, one down. So now we start from up. Then we go down. And we go up again. So repeat this process for about 7 times, meaning you want to do 14 knots. So once this 14 knots has been done, so as you do the alternate half hitch, remember to tighten gradually and not do a fast tug like this. If you do like this, it's not going to be good for a knot and you might result in some knot failure, especially at the point where you pull tight. So just tighten gradually. Remember, the thing that gives the knot strength is during the winding part. So this is just to close for added protection to the knot. Okay, we are almost end, so 2 more steps. So next step, with the end of the braided line, you want to do a ramp onto the main braided line. Okay, so just same alternate half hitches. One. This one is you just need to have a short one, so maybe just 3 knots should be enough. Okay, so at this point of time, after we have done the alternate half hitch onto the fluorocarbon, we will want to do an end knot to create a ramp between the braided line and FC line. So to do an end knot is very simple. Just do a loop across, bring the braid through 3 times, then slowly tighten. As you tighten, control how the line folds onto the knot so that it becomes neat and gradually tighten up. Yep. So now, at this point of time, cut away the braided line as close as you can. Okay, remember to dispose of the extra line responsibly. So the next part, this is with the tail end of the FC, do a diagonal cut so that this point will look like this. Okay, so with your windproof lighter, we want to start burning from this direction up so that we create a very nice round end that will prevent the knot from slipping. So just be careful, start the flame, run it through. I always like a lighter like this as it helps to protect the main P line. Alright, so we are done with the PR knot. As you can see, it has a very slim profile, giving the least resistance in water. So all that's left is the next step is to pull out how much FC line that you need, so for the different kind of fishing application. Okay, I hope you have found this video useful and taught you a lot on how to use our Shimano bobbin winder. So if there's anything unclear, do look back to the video and see what else you have missed. Thank you.